Hey everybody, it's Jeff with ID 10 Key Garage. We're going to continue working on the 1971 Torino project. The floors and the torque boxes are our main focus right now. It's a lot of work, a lot of rust. The more I've dug in, the more I've found. So unfortunately, this is the third episode where we're pretty much focused on this interior, and we're just going to start working. It's got to go, so let's get to it.
In my veins, I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame, cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stop.
Alright, we're already back out here sweating. Been cleaning out the interior of the car because I said fuck all this shit. I'm going to cut this whole fucking floor out. I went ahead and ordered a full floor from AMD. There's just too much rot, and if I'm going to piece it together, I'm going to end up being pissed off of all the welds and all the seams, and the full floor just makes more sense. So I got most of everything out of it, cleaned it up. Got a couple of the seat belts still stuck in there. I've put some PV blaster on them, but I'm about to start cutting. So we'll see how much we get done today. I don't know if I'll get a lot done or not, but figure I'll try to cut some of this out. So later. Alright, chop. So for the time being, I'm going to leave these pans in place. My center cross member is here, but what I really want to leave them in place for is so I can make sure once I get my new supports, I get the supports back in the right place. So like that one, I have the jig made up for. And before I remove this one, I'll probably make a jig for it as well. That way I can self-tap those back in place before I put the new floor in. I went back a decent amount. Now I need to go around these torque boxes and cut out, but I also don't want to cut out too much, so I kind of just went that far back. Now when I get my floors, I can see exactly how much I'm going to have and what I'll need to, just cut off. So, alright, later. Hey everybody, back out here, about to get back to work on the floors. So I said I was waiting on my support structures to really get those in place before I put the floor in, but I also, with the new floor coming, probably makes more sense to just remove everything. That way we can fit them to the floor instead of just trying to fit the floor over top of some support structures I might put in wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and continue removing the floor and just kind of get around the center structure that's in these Torinos. There's a center support structure that we definitely don't want to get out of place. So I'm going to go ahead and just start working around that and get more of the floors out. And we'll see what happens when we get the full floor. So back to work. Later. as you can see, we got all that flooring out. I got some work to do. The support on that side is actually kind of only held on by the one side, so I'm gonna have to weld it back in place. Nothing too major. Obviously that one's rotted out there in the front, and I got a lot of thick patching to do there. I'm sorry, not patching, but removal of all the old sheet metal. As you can see, there's multiple layers of the lip, which is where they, fixed old rust by putting more metal over the top of it. So a lot of cleanup to do there. Still got to pull these floors off of these rocker panels that are here. So I've got that to do. It's pretty rotted right there. We'll have to see what's underneath that, I believe. And on that side there's some patches, so I'll have to pull all that up as well. But either way, I need to remove the shifter hump. Basically, as you can see, it's kind of bolted in, so I'll need to remove that. And we'll eventually see how far up we're going to go once I get my new toe board, because I got a one-piece toe board essentially that goes from the whole left side all the way over and the hump. So we'll replace that whole section there as well. But it's what we've done so far, so later. Probably gonna call it a day at this point, but we went ahead and got the freaking shifter out and the hump shifter piece for it. Obviously you can see it was pretty rotted out. You'll see in the video obviously once we get back to it, but this whole side underneath these actual hump piece for the shifter was completely gone. I had to weld that in a little bit, so I went ahead and did that, and obviously I started pulling the nasty patches off of the rear torque box. So I gotta get that little bracket off. Have to get this one off as well, so I'm gonna have to reuse all my brackets. But I'm just trying to find out where it's rotted and where it's not. I believe my new floor goes all the way back to there, so we'll see once I get it. But I don't want to get cut away too much and then end up in a spot where I need to fab up some more metal. But for the most part, we're getting it out there. That torque box is a little crusty there, but the bottom of it looks pretty good in comparison to this one, where the bottom of the lip on this one is pretty far back. They're crusty either way, but I mean, it could be a lot worse. There's not a whole lot of repairs so far from what I can see that I'll have to do to those, just a little bit of metal work. So, but we're getting there. Slowly but surely. I gotta get all these wires pulled up and out of the way. I need to remove my heater box, and as you can see, the cowl is just horrible there. But I'll have to remove this heater box and plenum and everything, because I mean with the whole piece it's going to be back there. So but that's it for the day. Later. Alright everybody, we're out here again, about to get back to work on this torque box on this passenger side, this time for real. I got to get the side panel first before we can start installing the torque box and get everything set up. So I realized I had pretty much had a piece ready to go to weld in, but it was just too thin. It was just some leftover floor metal, so I went and got some 16 gauge, and I'm about to trace it out and start getting that one ready to go. So hopefully we'll get that welded in here shortly and go from there. See you later. well, I got my piece welded in. Not great. I still have to do a lot of grinding. There's still more spots I have to weld on there, but I got it in place. I'm probably gonna have to take the fender off to really finish it out, because I need to pound it to match this curve right here. So there's no weld on this side edge right here, just on the top and the bottom. And then some stuff on the back as well that I'm gonna have to deal with. But I don't even know if that was caught on camera. It was, this LED fucking light of mine keeps on going in and out and fucking shit up when I was having a hard time welding, and getting pissed off really. And for all I know, the camera's, you know, pretty much camcording the back of my head. So, but it is in there, so there is that. And we'll see if we get anything else along with that. But probably next step is just going to go ahead and remove the fender, because that is accessible from the outside, which I didn't know until today. I thought it was a double layer like a Mustang, where, you know, there's an inside layer for the inside of the car, and then there's another piece on the outside that kind of works as a water piece. So it's a whole lot different than I expected. But so I'll have to get that fender off and really get in there and be able to pound that out and get it where I want, and secure it in place nicely. So probably the next step, but that's enough for now. Later. Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in this week. We've made a lot of progress. As you can see, most of the floors are all gone. I got a one-piece floor on the way. It shipped out, so we just got to wait and see when the freight shipment arrives, and then really piecing things together. In the meantime, since we've got all the floor removed, we're going to go back to focusing on the torque boxes and the side panels and start welding that in. So that's what we'll be focused on next week. Really just getting everything cleaned up and fit in. I'm probably going to order some Mustang torque boxes for the driver's side, just to see if we can get that fit instead of having to basically make my own. I don't know what I'm going to do with the top of the passenger side yet, but I've got my 14 gauge metal that's just basically an L, and I've kind of shaped together. My buddy bent it up for me into the 9x9 piece, so we'll get that in place hopefully this week, and go from there and see what else I have to do. The side panels are got to be 16 gauge, which is what we welded in just a little bit ago. That needs some work. I've got to get this fender off, so I'll also be doing that. So part of next week we'll be removing at least the passenger side fender. I might go ahead and remove the driver's side fender. So we'll have to get that done and keep going. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, comment. Until next week, peace.
In my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping